Three, two, one, start. In Glass Onion, the director and writer Ryan Johnson, he did this thing that he just made the killer the most obvious choice.
Mm,
Unlike in the last movie, he actually did a smart thing. He was gonna do this thing, but you know the detective, Benoit
mm,
Blanc.
mm.
You know how he has that accent? It's
I think it's
like
a southern
yeah, Southern
southern
accent.
cut.
So he was gonna do this thing that in every movie, Benoit Blanc would have a different accent,
Mm.
and he wouldn't even like say the reason he was gonna do it, but decided not to. So
But it looks like they might do. It's
yeah,
becoming a franchise now.
yeah, it's a smart choice. Like,
Yeah,
why would he not?
and this is the first time they show their his partner as well.
Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant, yeah.
Yeah,
So that
that's
means
a good
Hugh
scene.
Grant might come in big way in future films.
Maybe, but I don't think it'll be a big
I
part.
think it's a good franchise. It's good storyline. Like my memories about this kind of films is like always, came from Agatha Christie, The Death on the Nile, the famous film, and I can see like lots of kind of ideas coming from there. But it's not like because that's the different time, different era. The recent Knives Out, I can call it, part two. It has got lots of political stuff there, isn't it?
Yeah, even though it's a sequel, it's nothing like the first movie
No.
at all. Like, I don't even think the only thing that's connecting it is Benoit Blanc.
Mm,
But
mm, mm,
I like it for different reasons. In the first one, I feel like the reason why I missed the first one so much compared to the second one is because of the interviews.
mm,
I loved the interviews like the first time. Like it was just, even though it was like an interrogation,
mm,
yeah,
mm,
I just,
mm,
I really wanted like more of an interrogation, but obviously for the second one, they were undercover. So
mm, mm. But it's like, like the first one, it has got this kind of ensemble cast, isn't it? Every character has got something to say. Every character is quite, play a big role in the whole
yeah.
film. So every character is important here. And
Mhm.
every character has got some kind of plan, agenda, motive, whatever you can call it.
Yeah, every character has like a name. Like there's the assistant, the what's it called? The politician.
Mm,
What's Whiskey? Whiskey's like she's girlfriend to like the streamer, the Twitch.
mm,
There is also the Birdie.
mm.
What's Birdie? Birdie's the model,
Yeah.
and there's Miles. The
But also, it's not only like the way the modern, all the celebrities, like the singers or the Hollywood actors, they always have this kind of side hustle, isn't it? They've got like some kind of design line. I don't know, like some other industries they're involved in to make quick money because they can use their name, fame, connection. And I think that character, like Birdie character, kind of represents that kind of genre.
Yeah, another reason why I like the film is how they, not for you, because for you the pandemic was just like mostly meetings and stuff.
Mm,
But for me, since I don't have a job, so
mm, mm,
and school was quite short. So
mm,
I would do like an hour of schoolwork like max because that's like it could all be completed in an hour.
mm.
So there's like this game called Among Us, and do you know the game?
So,
The game that they were playing like first and when you first watched the film, and Benoit Blanc was like, "What is this game?" Okay, so Among Us is this game that it's like
mm,
the imposter like who's the killer,
mm,
and
mm,
basically the whole movie
mm.
was a big Among Us game.
Is it?
Yeah,
Is it like kind of who done it kind of thing?
yeah, and I feel like the first part, even though it was a bit cringe in my opinion, they still it kind of just like depicted what was in the future of the film because it
Mm,
was just represented a whole game. They were locked in a tight space, like a
mm,
fixed area,
mm,
and there was a killer. And also at the end, they were all together. So it was a big Among Us game.
mm. So like out of all those characters like this, like ensemble cast, which one is your favorite one?
I hate Miles. he's a good character, but I don't like the character.
But
But he's made to not be liked.
but do you think he's a miscast in this film? Edward
No,
Norton.
no.
I thought, he's a miscast for this film.
Who else would do it? I feel like he fit
Um,
the role perfectly because he's kind of he's old, but he tries to be young. The hair is a very. I noticed in the hairstyle that it was like he tried to have a young hairstyle, like up,
mm.
but it just looked kind of weird. So yeah, I think it was like well
But I
cast.
mean, because I mean, the part of me like is like kind of character like Elon Musk, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Um,
No,
but he doesn't has those. I don't know. Like I mean, because Edward Norton always, kind of reminds me this Fight Club.
oh yeah, first
So
real fight
so
club.
he'll always be a miscast for any film he will be in. Who's this actor, the Australian actor? He was in Gladiator. What's his name?
If you think that he is miscast, who would you rather have
So
cast?
that's I'm thinking of this like Australian actor. What's his name? Oh, he was in Beautiful Mind. What's his name?
We don't
Okay,
have to dwell on that.
okay. No, but his kind of is the character has to have some kind of, because I mean there's nothing to love about this character, isn't it? He's pompous, he's like arrogant, he's like he thinks he's great, but he's not.
Yeah,
He uses words which
abbreviate.
don't make any sense, but he thinks it makes total sense. Um,
Did you see what people are saying online about Knives Out?
like what?
Everyone's saying, "Oh yeah, it was so predictable with the killer," but they made it to be like they
Yeah.
made the most obvious
Mm,
choice, and they did it on purpose.
mm,
And
mm.
hence the film Glass Onion. You know how it's like from a Beatles song.
No, can you tell us a bit more about that?
Okay, so Glass Onion, it basically says, it seems layered and like it's so deep, but really it's so
But
clear.
but
It's clear.
underneath is just clear, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all clear. So Ryan Johnson like named it Glass Onion because since in Knives Out everyone analyzed it like so much.
Mm,
And
mm,
so for Glass Onion, he just made the killer like so obvious. He made the the title Glass Onion more
mm, mm,
exactly what it says. Just like don't
mm,
overanalyze it because he knew fans were gonna do that.
mm,
Because everyone thinks that Miles Bond is super smart. He's a billionaire, just like Elon Musk.
mm, mm,
But really, he's actually just a dumb person.
mm. Because the ideas came from somewhere else, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So in like Miles
Yeah,
Brown's case, the
exactly.
idea came from Andy.
Yeah, and it showed that in real life that women and like especially black women, they always get like forgotten,
Mm,
and it's always like the white man who
mm,
gets all the fame.
mm. Like in terms of politics, do you think how political this film is? Do you think it's a film about a critique of our society where, the celebrity culture, the money, the Hollywood, and then, and the underbelly of all those bad stuff like sweet shop.
Yeah, I
Um,
think it really shows that famous people just use each other just to get more higher up. Like
mm,
how I don't know the character, but the politician, how she just uses Miles because since he's a
mm,
billionaire
mm.
to what's it called like back up her campaign.
But at the same time, Miles was not doing it free because he was asking something in return as well. His project, his plan,
Yeah, he
his
wanted
idea
to
about,
clear the hydrogen.
yeah, it's his idea about, because he wants to be immortal. His legacy has to be immortal. People can remember him forever, the things he did. But also he's rushing things as well. Because part of
Racing to
him
make
is
this
like, he's arrogant. He's like, but also he's not the real guy.
exactly. He didn't make the box.
Mm,
He didn't plan the whole thing.
mm.
He didn't think of anything. He wasn't the one who wrote on a napkin.
What do you think the twin sisters character?
Oh no, I really liked her. She was she a good actress? Yeah, I think so. I would say so because
But do you think the film,
or the plot
yeah,
wise,
could the plot,
no one saw that coming.
could the plot, do without her? I think,
No.
or the plot needed her.
Yes. I mean, if she wasn't there, then it would be a completely different plot. No one could say they saw that coming. No one could say, "Oh yeah, I knew that it was a twin sister all along." You
Mm.
can't say that.
But obviously, the Miles Brown was close to his wife, isn't it? So he should have known there's a sister there, a twin sister there.
Oh yeah, no, he knew from the start, but we didn't know that he knew from the start.
Mm. So when the whole cast came to that island, and then when she was there, Miles, do you think Miles was surprised?
Yeah,
The rest of the cast was really surprised, but the Miles was.
no, he was surprised for a different reason. But I liked the whole plot. The plot was nice.
Mm.
I liked Whiskey's character. I didn't really like the only characters I didn't like
I mean,
was
like, just to want to make sure that we are not giving too many spoilers here.
yeah,
But we are doing it in a very clumsy way so that people don't get the actual plot at
oh
all.
yeah.
Okay. um,
Yeah, it was like the most 35 million people watched it the day it came out.
is
New,
it?
yeah, that's pretty good. That's really good for a Netflix film.
Mm. So this is quite a big leap for like Daniel Craig because he's a James Bond guy, and this is the totally kind of antithesis of that character in a different way because he's not glamorous here. He's not the James Bond kind of thing. He's just normal kind of old style detective.
Yeah, it's very true. But did you notice when Helen, like later on in the film, when we see Helen go to Benoit Blanc's apartment, that Benoit Blanc was already dressed up. He already had like a suit on, even though it was a pandemic.
Mm, mm,
Yeah, yeah. The actor said that was to depict like a sense of security. That he's
mm,
always ready to go. Always ready to just like jump on a case.
mm.
That's a quite nice touch.
Murder mystery weekend.
Who? Miles Braun.
Miles Brown's. But that was quite dumb story, isn't it? Whoever, because he did not invent that, so he hired
No.
someone to make this murder mystery
And Benoit Blanc just like solved it.
in just
Yeah.
like the first couple of seconds, straight
Yeah.
away. Um, what's your take on Mona Lisa thing?
I like the Mona Lisa thing. I like how it depicted the right image of immortality.
Mhm.
That was nice. And also I like the touch where after Helen exposes Miles Braun, and then after she goes to Benoit Blanc and said, "Did you catch the guy?" And she says yes. And then she looks at the camera and she's in the exact same pose as the Mona Lisa.
Mm, mm,
That was that was a good touch.
mm,
10 out of
mm,
10.
mm, mm. But I'm not telling the things they did to the Mona Lisa. That was quite an atrocious thing to do, isn't it? It gives a very powerful message through this film as well.
Which is what?
The value of human lives. We we all talk about all those famous paintings, the artists and all those things. But most of these paintings and artists are actually meant for the super rich, not for the average, everyday ordinary people.
Yeah, the Mona
And
Lisa very it depicted how dumb Miles Braun was. He
mm,
hired the most famous painting and then he destroyed it due to his own idea.
mm.
His life is ruined forever.
But at the same time, in the actual film, I think apart from that guy, that like muscly guy, I think none died in the film.
Well, Andy
And
died.
yeah, but then before the film started, I think we are giving too many spoilers now.
It's okay. Like, who's gonna?
First, I think the disclaimer would be watch the film first. Then if you want
Yeah,
to
yeah. Watch the film.
watch the film
Don't
first, and then come to listen
exactly.
to this
Exactly.
this podcast.
So I had very low expectations for Glass Onion, I thought since it's a Netflix film, and I don't really like Netflix films.
Mm.
That's a lie. Actually, I do. But most of the time, 50% of the time, I don't like Netflix films. So I
Mm.
thought Glass Onion would be like a cheap, unfunny,
Mm.
cringe um version of Knives Out.
Mm.
But
Mm.
it wasn't. It
Mm.
wasn't a version of Knives Out. It was just
Mm. Mm.
something else.
But also, it's a kind of, I don't think you'll understand something called postmodern. So like postmodern, like there's no grand narrative of anything. Basically, no, you call it like genre. This is like this kind of genre. I don't think this film you can pin it down with some kind of genre. It doesn't have any genre.
You could do the who done it.
I don't think so. It's like more. It's a combination of lots of things. Who done it? Political messages, but at the same time, not much political message either, because lots of contradictions as well. The film is a critique of things like celebrity culture, the connection, the money, the sweet shop. At the same time, they're doing lots of cameos in the film. Like even like Serena Williams was there in the film as a cameo. So obviously, the whoever it is behind this film, they are pulling lots of strings and bringing lots of high-profile celebrities to do those cameos. I mean, obviously, there's a serious interest to make serious amount of money out of this film.
Yeah, well, Knives Out is like, oh, in a room of 10 people, at least 6 people would say that's their favorite film.
Yeah, yeah,
It's one of my
yeah,
favorite films.
yeah. But also it brings lots of, like thought-provoking ideas as well. Because this film will make you think, make you think. It's a good story. It's a good story. It's not too complicated. It's not too like overbearing. It flows well, isn't it?
Yeah, that was Ryan Johnson's message. Like, don't
Mm,
overanalyze the
mm,
film.
mm, mm, mm,
Like, he made you run in like a giant circle. He said, even though he showed us Miles Braun, he was the killer, we
mm,
always dismissed it since the most obvious choice is never it. And so
mm,
we run around in a circle, like saying, who done it? Who did this? Who killed?
mm,
And then we realized it was Miles Braun, and then we say, I thought that.
mm,
Yeah.
mm. At the same time, the film has a kind of setting where you can only see, power, money, wealth.
Yeah.
It's nothing much. Nothing much was going on there behind the scene. It did not show you what the chefs, what the cooks, were preparing things for
No,
you.
it's because he said in the movie that he he made like the staff take a week off.
Mm.
Except, did you notice the one random guy that was
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
do you know why he was there?
I think he was in the first film as
Yeah,
well.
the actor was in the first film. And he basically had the same role, just like a random person that like added commentary.
Mm. But he lives in that house. It looks like
Yeah.
um, kind of does stuff
Yeah, Miles Bond said, "Oh yeah,
like errands.
that's not part of the whole thing." But I don't know why he's there.
The lots of ideas came from lots of the things we have been watching recently. Then do you remember that all those like luggages kind of left in
Oh
the
yeah,
beach, and it is carried away by this
robot
semi
dog.
robot, whatever it is. It kind of reminds me Black Mirror.
Oh yeah,
That's I call it like postmodern. It's like kind of no, it's not something very unique. It's lots of recycling stuff there. Do you agree?
yeah, 100%.
Mm. What's your favorite character then in this whole film?
I didn't actually say my answer, but I already said the characters I didn't like, but I think my favorite was probably Andy. Well, Helen,
Mm.
because I think she's not as smart as Benoit Blanc, but she still managed it because her motivation
Mm.
just carried her along like the whole way.
Mm. Because she's kind of person, because the detective is a detective. He doesn't make philosophies in the film, but Andy's character is, or the sister's character, is like, talk about humanity, isn't it? And try to expose that who these people are and what's their motives is. And these people are actually our people who run our societies, our countries,
Yeah.
our Hollywood, our, all the sweet shops in China or in Bangladesh or in Vietnam.
Yeah, it made us realize that the people on top are normally just writing off like other people's ideas, and they're not actually all that.
Mm, mm.
Especially for like Miles, since he didn't even come up with his whole idea.
No, because it looks like, he's the person, the billionaires life, because more or less they think that they can buy anything with their money, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anything and everything.
Yeah, especially when he hired the Mona Lisa.
Mm,
Yeah, and also he was gonna invite all the world leaders to the
mm,
same resort.
mm,
And then he has to tell them, oh yeah, my idea just destroyed the world's most famous painting.
mm. Then the same time, do you think it's got some kind of relations with Elon Musk's idea about SpaceX?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, like the way the Mona Lisa, the priceless product, you can bring it to your home. The same way, actually, um, Elon Musk is trying to send all those, rockets to different
Mars?
planets,
Yeah.
Mars, as showing off, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
When, the planet needs lots of things, lots of care.
What's your thoughts on his child, AEA13? That's the child's name.
As in,
Yeah. But
it's like Elon Musk's child's name.
yeah,
Okay.
sounds like a password, but I don't think it's the actual child's name.
So did you say that it sounds like a password?
Yeah, that's why I'm quoting him.
Password for what?
Yeah, he said that. I bet you his child is like a password to the
Mm.
project or
Mm.
something.
So how much you're sure that, how much that character, Miles Brown character, is actually, kind of portrayal of Elon Musk?
Yeah, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg.
Mm.
Have you seen the social network?
And like one of the funny story I learned about Mark Zuckerberg is because he loves very private life. So he actually bought house, and then he bought the surrounding houses as well, so that there'll be no neighbors for him.
Did you hear the theory that he's actually a lizard?
No, I
Have you
think we are being distracted from the film, the actual film we are talking about.
Comment down below if you think. Comment down below. Mark Zuckerberg is a lizard. Hashtag. Use the hashtag.
I mean, at least like this film is not showing anything, or like did not talk about the lizard or all those, conspiracy theories.
Yeah, there's
Like, did they talk about conspiracy theories?
they
Not much in that film.
you know the kombucha by
Yeah, yeah,
Dato?
yeah.
And I feel like that was kind of like a dig at the real kombucha maker, who is also
Mm,
it's just search up the kombucha inventor. He didn't actually invent it. He just like created the industry.
mm,
It's very special. His whole house is just white. It's very blank, and he has a lot of modern art. And he has a whole dining area,
mm,
and he lives alone. He
mm,
doesn't invite anyone over. It's
mm.
crazy. It's really crazy.
So they brought lots of the Hollywood characters who were not in the film, like what's his name, like Jeremy Ryan,
Oh, and the hot sauce guy.
Jeremy Renner, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
what's that? I mean, as if he's the like symbol of power, and because he's one of those, it's like Marvel films or the so he's like powerful guy, so he has to produce something very very powerful.
yeah, and he just creates hot sauce.
Yeah.
But that hot sauce was a very important thing in the future in the film because it made sure that the killer,
Mm,
remember when Andy got shot, well, Helen got shot,
mm,
they just used hot sauce.
mm, mm, mm.
So that actually saved her life. Who would have known?
Any flaws in the film? Do you think that, that didn't make any sense?
I don't like the whole Actually, no, that was actually quite realistic. The Duke's character,
Mm.
I didn't like his, but that is realistic now. He's
Because they made his character intentionally
Mhm.
to like make it unlikable, isn't it? But he's quite dumb as well.
Yeah, and also the his girlfriend that we
Mm.
also assume is dumb is actually quite smart.
Mm. Mm.
She's just using Duke to create her own platform,
Mm. Mm. Which shows the this like
just using
the problem with
everyone.
those all those celebrity culture,
Yeah, they're just using
the
everyone.
like celebrity influencers. You just need a bit of connection and then that's it. And
Mhm.
then you get like 10 million likes. That's your career.
Yeah,
Mm.
I like all of the cast though, like separately. Also, what was your thoughts on Birdie, the model?
Mm. Mm. I mean, I also think that her character is quite miscast as well.
Wow,
Uh,
washed up
I
models.
don't think Kate Hudson. Yeah, but yeah, you're right. It's the washed up model, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
If you think
I
of her
think yeah,
younger, then it
yeah.
would
I
have
think
made
I think
sense.
that came out very nicely. That washed up model. There's nothing there. Um,
The politician was well cast.
I
I
think
like the
so.
actress.
I think so. I think so. But she didn't get much airtime in the film.
Mhm. Well, I think because she's done a lot of big projects,
Mm,
she's like now like a proper part in Marvel now. So
mm.
I don't think she would have had time to
Is
be on
she?
set a lot.
Is it?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, in one show called WandaVision, she is actually the mastermind behind everything.
Okay. Okay.
I haven't seen the show though.
So that's said, like this is difficult to get all those, the top actors in one film. I think the first one, the first Knives Out
Oh, that
had
was it.
that serious cast, isn't it? Huge cast.
Yeah, Chris,
Chris Evans, Christopher
yeah.
Plummer, yeah, and Jamie Lee Curtis, Don Johnson's there as well.
Wait, what's the one called?
Oh my God! I mean, one of my favorite character, Michael Shannon. Oh, I love him. I love his this actor. He's so good. He's so good. He's so good. Um,
Yeah, and
but does it mean like because I mean, if they make films, more films with this kind of ideas, with this like detective thing, that means they cannot bring these characters back in any of the newer films
no, because
because those people moved on with their
yeah,
lives. That story moved on.
exactly.
But at the same time, they will miss all those great characters as well, the great actors. So, what will be advised to the film buffs? Do they need to watch it?
Yes, watch it. It's really good.
It's good entertainment,
You
isn't
kind of
it?
have to force yourself to watch it the first like 10 minutes though.
Mm, mm. It's good entertainment, isn't it? It's clever.
Yeah.
It's quite funny as well.
The
Um,
last hour of it is it's just amazing.
mm,
Like you don't know what's gonna happen. You will have no idea what's gonna happen.
mm, mm. And I was surprised because it's a very complex story,
Yeah.
this way, that way, and it was written by just one guy. It's the same guy who directed
Yeah.
the film as well.
Ryan Johnson.
He's the writer as well, isn't it?
Mhm.
Just himself. Pretty talented, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good. So we need these people, to make some great films because art is important for our life.
Yeah.
But art at the same time has to be more social so that everyone can have access to those arts. Everyone can enjoy art. Okay, so in terms of like, we need to do a kind of review rating as well, out of 10 scale.
Oh, this film could only go downhill because the first one was so good.
Mm,
So, okay, first one, I think 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
I can't think of anything wrong with it. Okay,
Okay,
9 out of 10.
the first one. Okay, that's this one.
The first couple minutes, it was kind of rough.
Okay.
But the ending was okay actually.
So 6.5,
No, I would say 7.
7.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I watched a couple of other films during my, annual leave, my holidays. I think I watched one of them with you, Armageddon Time. I think that was very powerful
Oh yeah,
film. That's amazing, amazing
but
film.
that's like a whole different type of movie.
Yeah.
You can't compare it because
No, but I think I will give that film, Armageddon Time, 8 or 9.
8.
I watched also Avatar, part 2,
The Way of Water.
The Way of Water. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just saw the news today. It already made $1 billion. But it's more about, I think the story is obviously good, but I think the more about the filmmaking was something else. Totally. Yeah. That's totally different kind of film. So these are like three kind of, different kind of film. You just cannot compare contrast with these three. They're totally amazing in their own way. So if you talk about this holiday season, the three films to watch, I will watch Armageddon Time. I will watch Avatar 2, and also I will watch Glass Onion. Okay. Okay, so we can stop here. I think we had a good chat. I think most of your generation will understand what you talk about.
Yeah, buy my merch.
But I'm like more about it. Thank you, Lavina.
Yeah. Hit the like button, hit subscribe, buy my merch. And
Yeah.
also don't forget to comment.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much.